Hello, everybody. Welcome back. This is about creating your business budget in YNAB. This is part 2. So if you've not watched part 1, you're going to want to head back to that video to make sure you watch that because this is the second part of doing this. In the first part video, we went through and talked about actually creating all of your expenses. So everything you see here is what we talked about in part 1. If you're like, how did you get there? How did you set up these categories? How did you set up this or that? That's what we talked about in part 1. So go ahead and head back to that video if you've already watched that. And you are now ready to start budgeting for the month of June in 2021 in your business, then stay right here. I'm going to show you how we're going to allocate our money for the month of June. Now, for this example, I'm also going to be showing you what to do about when that future money is going to be coming in. So maybe right now you don't have any of June's money yet. If you're still living that paycheck to paycheck cycle, I have another video about breaking it. But for this example, since you're just beginning your business budget, we're going to stay with the idea that you're going to use the money that comes into your business over the course of June, when your clients pay, when you have subscription payments come in, when you have course payments come in. I'm going to show you how we're going to do that using You Need a Budget, and then how we allocate that money and how we decide where our money should be going. Now, this is going to be incredibly powerful because if you have not yet created a business budget, what you're doing right now is kind of just flying by is it the seat or the seam of your pants? I don't know which one it is, but you're kind of flying by the blank of your pants right now. You're just trying to get to the end of the month, making sure you've paid all your bills, and maybe your profit sucks. Maybe you're not paying yourself. Maybe you're not paying off credit card debt. Maybe you're not paying, your taxes, right? Maybe all of these things are just keep getting pushed to say another month or another year or sometime in the future, you'll be able to do these things when you can do them right now with the money you have coming in. I promise. All right. So we're going to get started. Now, I'm going to be looking at my screen, so I'm not going to really be like looking at you anymore, just so this isn't awkward eye contact. I'm going to be looking at my screen. And let's get started, guys. All right. So I am going to head here to the checking, right? I'm going to click on that. What you can always do is you can always attach, you can actually attach your actual business checking account in You Need a Budget. So you're able to do that through Link Account. So you can click this button here. This is a demo account that I'm using. So obviously you can see my real bank accounts here, which I'm not going to click on, but this is how you would do it. So you could click Add New Connection, and then you would search for your bank name. Let's say, for example, I'll just go with my bank, Capital One, click on that, and then you would continue to connect your account. Some people do not like this feature. Some people don't want some other software being connected to their bank account. That's totally fine. I've actually done both ways. So I have done it where my account was linked, but I had some glitches with You Need a Budget and Capital One. I heard that the glitches have now been resolved, but basically it was like some things weren't importing, some things were taking a long time. And then once my husband and I combined all of our budgets into one account, we actually couldn't have account that was importing easily, automatically. So I had to actually start doing manual things. And it made more sense for me because I had less transactions coming in through my budget. So I've been doing it manually, and I've actually really enjoyed doing it manually. So for this example, what I'm going to do is I'm going to act like this is your business. All right. And in the month of June, you know that you have, let's say you know that you have 3 clients that are going to pay you $2,000. And then maybe you know that you have some other smaller payments coming in. So we'll go with the example that, you have some course payments coming in. So I'm going to show you how to do that. You go right here and you click Add Transaction, and you actually put the dates in that people are going to be paying you. So this is kind of calling, it's kind of called cheating a little bit. We're going to cheat the system a little bit, but this is important for you to be able to do because now you're going to be able to see the entire month and not just 2 weeks at a time, or when one client makes one payment and how you're allocating that money. Let's look at the whole month of June. Okay, with all the money coming in, are we making the right choices with our money? So let's say I know that I have a client payment coming in today on June 3rd. I'm going to say it's coming through my Stripe account, okay? And I'm going to put it here to be budgeted. And I'm going to say that client is paying me $2,000. All right, saving that another. I know I have another client payment coming in on June 9th. Again, it's coming from my Stripe account. Let me fix my microphone here. Okay. And inflow to be budgeted. Again, $2,000. Save. I will show you how to actually, so see how it already does this. It just scheduled transaction, which means it's gray. This one is white because this is today. So I can clear this and say it's in my account. But this one will stay this kind of gray color. What you can do is we're going to put all of these transactions today. Now we know that they're actually coming in on another day, but because we want to create our budget, we want to know for the month of June where all of our money is going and not just week by week by week. We want to actually allocate all of our money for the month. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on June 3rd because then it will actually allow me to see all of the money together. And that's why I call it cheating. I call it cheating a little bit. Now, when this money actually comes in, okay, what we can do is we can actually change the date on it. Just don't hit this green button here. All right. We're not going to mess with that yet. All right. So let me just approve this. Okay. We have another transaction coming in June 23rd. That client is going to be paying me. I'm going to do this inflow to be budgeted. I have $2,000 coming in. All right. So those are my bigger things that I have coming in. Oh, I meant to change that. 1 second. Cancel this transaction. And I want to go back to this June 23rd. I want to change June 3rd. Save and approve. Approve. All right. So those are, let's say, for example, that I know that those are my 3 big transactions that I have coming in June. Now, when I go back through my money and I realize, okay, I have these other smaller payments coming in, I'm going to put those in too. So again, I'm going to hit June 3rd. I'm going to do, they're coming from Stripe. Maybe I have a course and it's connected through Stripe. Inflow to be budgeted. I know that someone's paying me $297. I'm going to do another one. Again, June 3rd. Stripe to be budgeted. Inflow, $97. All right. So let's say this is what I have working right now. So in the month of June 2021, I have $6,394 coming in the month. So by the end of June, I will have this money in my checking account. Now, I won't have all this money have come through my checking account, and then we're going to budget and allocate our money, okay? So I know right up here, this is all of the money that you're going to have coming in for June. And so now the next decision is, where's all of this money going to be going? Now, instead of making those decisions on like June 15th and June 23rd and June 30th and just making those decisions day by day, we are already making these decisions now. So before the money even comes into our account, I already know that money is allocated already. It's already, so in your head, it's kind of like the money has already been spent. So if you go into a month not really knowing exactly where your money's going to be going or where it's going to be spent, well, then it just goes wherever your subconscious wants it to go, which is no good. You do not want your subconscious making those decisions for you, I promise. All right. Okay. So now we have our checking account, right? And over here, you say like, oh, Shannon, you have your credit card, your credit card is over here too. You have a $0 balance on your credit card. My business carries, a $5,000 balance. All right, no problem. Before we allocate all of our money, let's get real about what is actually going on in our big picture financial situation. Well, we have $5,000 of business credit card debt. Let's not forget that part because that's a big deal. All right, so again, you can also link your credit card to here and it can import automatically. Like I said, I do it manually because this is a demo budget. I'm going to be doing this manually. So I'm going to come over here and what I'm going to put in is just the starting balance of our credit card. All right. So I'm going to go here and I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to go to outflow and I'm going to put in that we have a $5,000 working balance on our credit card. Okay. So this is going to go in my debt category, my credit card category. It's not here. All right. That's okay. For now, just leave the category blank. All right. We just want to show that we have this balance here. Okay. We'll get to this a little bit later. I don't want to get this too complicated. I really just want this to be about how much money we have coming in June, what our debt situation looks like, and what we're going to be doing with that money. So most people tend to look at this number, right? And look at this number or this number over here and say, I should just dump this whole number to this, right? That's what most of us want to do. We want to get rid of our debt right away. We want to do it. And I'm going to tell you, do not do that. Do not do that. If you have nothing in savings, which for this budget, we do not yet, and you dump all of your money into your credit card, you will get back into credit card debt. You need to create a 3-month savings first, and then you can pay off credit card debt. Now, as an entrepreneur, I like to go with 6 months, especially because I am having some things right now that make my income fluctuate, like being pregnant and giving birth in a couple months. So I like to have a 6-month savings account. That might be too much for some people. 3 months, perfect. So I actually would not take all of this money in the month of June and dump it into my credit card debt. I would first allocate it to the things we actually need to spend our money on. And then I would start putting it into savings. And then whatever else we need to pay. We have taxes we need to pay, right? There's lots of other things we need to pay for. So the important part about budgeting is really about being honest with yourself. And that's the hardest part. Like there's so many times when I have had money come into my account and all I want to do is dump it to my credit card. But I know I have to be disciplined because I know long term, I'm just going to get back into credit card debt if I'm not saving. I know that if I say to myself, oh, I can be really, really restrictive with my budget, that's not going to work long term. I have to be honest with myself. Like, I like to enjoy life. I like to enjoy things. And what's going to get me to my results long term are doing these things, like are doing the things that say, be real with yourself, be honest with yourself. What do you really need to be putting money away for right now? So let's take that whole philosophy and apply it. We're going to come down here and we're going to say, hey, guess what? Speaking of that credit card, you also pay interest on that credit card. So let's think of an example, right? It's $20 in credit card interest. Do not forget that. Please have this bucket in your budget, credit card interest, okay? We also have to pay for a ConvertKit. I might be making up some numbers here. Some of them are like off the top of my head from my budget. I usually pay $39 here. Zoom is like $15 a month. Acuity is usually around $10 a month. This is a made up one, so I'm going to say like $47 a month. All right, so I've only allocated right now for all of these things in this top category. I have not done savings, not done myself, and I've not done next month yet. This next month category is how we break paycheck to paycheck. I'm not going to go over that in today's video because I just want to show you how to use this software. I just want to show you how to use You Need a Budget. Okay, so now we are down to $6,138. We also know, say for example, we know that, hey, in the month of June, you are going to be going through a launch. You need to pay a virtual assistant to help you with that launch, or maybe you pay a virtual assistant every single month. We pay her probably around $1,500 a month. Also, I need to keep that graphic designer. She has to redo my sales pages for the launch, or I have her just like we're on a contract or whatever, right? And I pay this person $500 a month. Okay, now let's see what we have. Oh, We also pay a business coach every month. And my business coach is $2,000 a month. And then I tend to throw another $500 into Facebook ads. Now, what I have to make very clear, right, with myself is I have to know what I'm spending every month. I have to know that I pay for a virtual assistant, I pay for a graphic designer, I pay for Facebook ads and the business coach. See how important it is to know exactly how much you're spending every single month. So this is really important that you have this stuff broken down because now we can see, all right, I have all that money coming into my account. I'm left with $1,638. So these are all my expenses going out, right? And see if there's anything else I need to account for. I accounted for my credit card interest. I accounted for ConvertKit. See what else? What else? I have all this stuff here. This is good. This is good. All right. I have $1,638 left. We can also can we account for the credit card? What will happen is your credit card will then be linked to your as your transactions come in, you're going to put them over here. So let's say, for example, let me see if this will work with this demo budget. Let's say, for example, we're paying our Acuity subscription, right? So I paid Acuity. I can go here and I can go here and I will put $10. Save that. Now let me just double check if this will work on the demo budget. Okay, perfect. So you see this number here where it says credit card and then it says $10. So every single time you put a transaction here in your credit card, it will go to that bucket. So now we're going to know every single month, how much money we put to our credit card. If I'm going to pay for everything that I have allocated here and here and here on my credit card, I'm going to know exactly how much is going to be owed at the end of the month on my credit card to bring it back down to the number it is now, right? So because I have my credit card interest allocated and I know how much money I'm going to be putting on it that month, my credit card will come back down to this $5,000, okay? If your credit card debt keeps building and you're not sure why, it's probably because you're not allocating for credit card interest in your budget. And it's probably also because you're not understanding how much money you're actually putting on your credit card every single month to bring it down. So if you're spending on your credit card and then you pay, the minimum, obviously that's going to keep on going on your credit card. You're not going to pay that balance down. Okay, so we have all this allocated. We have all of our money and we are still left with $1,638. But there's one little sneaky thing that we have to pay for, and that's our taxes. So because this is just a standard LLC, we have paid our expenses. We had our revenue come in. Now I know that I'm going to be taxed on this much. Now for everyone else, this number is going to be different. For me, what I've always followed is 30% of my profit seems to work really well in paying my taxes. And sometimes that hasn't even been enough. And this might be generous also too. But I file my taxes jointly with my husband. So obviously my number is going to be different than what you are going to pay. I also live in the state of New Jersey, so my taxes are probably going to be different than what you pay. But for us, the standard rule that we have followed is 30% of our profit. So if this was following my tax rules, right? I would go here, and I would know, okay, in the month of June, I'm going to be left with $1,630 times 0.3. I need to put aside I'll just round it up, $492. All right. So I'm going to go here to taxes and I need to save $492. All right, great. Got my taxes. Here's what I'm left with after everything. And because I have nothing in savings, I also have nothing here for myself. And I still want to get this credit card debt down. Well, now I have 3 things that I need to decide upon that matter. Of course, if you're following my financial philosophies, what I would always say is save your savings, is do your savings first. So what I would allocate is probably like let's allocate like $800 to our savings. And then let's see what is left. $346 is left to us. All right. So you might be looking at this and thinking, like, fuck, Shannon. I like get to pay myself $346 and my debt isn't going down, right? So here's what I want to explain to you is as you go through your budget and you allocate your money for the month of June. So at the end of June, we're going to have all these things paid for. Our credit card is going to come back down to $5,000. So we're not going to be paying off any of that this month, but that's okay because we have our savings is starting to build. We'll build it again more next month. We'll get it to that point where if all of these expenses added up times 3, what would we need? Now, when it comes to this amount, right? When it comes to you looking at your budget and then saying, this is why I don't create budgets. You might even be saying that when you say, this is why I don't create them. Because they're no fun to see. I get to pay myself $346. Great. I'm going to pay the rent with that, right? But this is what you get to see with a budget. You get to see where all of your money is going. So if you don't like, hey, I don't like that I'm paying $500 to Facebook ads, then like pause your Facebook ads for that month. Or maybe you don't like that you're paying $2,000 to your business coach and all of their money is going out here to the virtual assistant and graphic designer. Okay, well, decide for that month. Hey, maybe I need to take a break because I want to pay down my credit card. I want to build my savings. All these things are your choices that you get to make. It's nice that this is a really hefty budget. Like this is a budget where there is a lot of money going out, right? And you get to decide upon, I want to pay myself more, or I want to put more to savings, or I want to put more to debt. So where are things that I'm going to maybe cut back upon? Maybe I'm going to change, move my money around. Or maybe looking at this, you're happy. Maybe you're like, I love having the assistant. I love having the graphic designer. I don't need that much personal money right now. I have a lot of personal savings. I'm okay. Or maybe I have someone that's paying my other personal bills right now, and that's okay too. And you might be like, this budget, it's fine for me. I can have $350 a month. If you don't, you get the choice and the option to say, what is flexible here? It could even be something like, maybe you don't need lead pages and Zoom and Acuity. Maybe you just need one of these things. Or maybe it's like, instead of doing this marketing membership, maybe I could use my virtual assistant to give me some marketing help, or the graphic designer to give me some, or maybe my business coach has some marketing courses that I can use from her or him for free. There are ways that you can look at your budget and say, where do I not like how I'm spending things? And where can I be resourceful? And where can I find other ways around this? This is the great thing about a budget is that there are choices to be made. There are options to be made. You can do this. You can decide how much you want to pay yourself, how much you want to put to debt, how much you want to put to savings, right? If you're looking at this and you're thinking, Shannon, that's great for people who have $6,000 coming in the month of June. I have $2,000 maybe coming in the month of June. What I would say is look at your budget. Still look at your budget. Is there anything in your budget that you want to cut back upon? Is there anything in your budget you can use both things for? I know recently, like ConvertKit is now doing landing pages. So maybe you don't need lead pages as much, or maybe you don't need the virtual assistant right now. Is there any way you can change those things? It could also be, okay, I have really trimmed my budget back. I've really done this stuff and there's just not enough money left over. Well, then, okay, that's a revenue problem. So you can work on trying to find another source of revenue for your business. I'm going to be coming out with a video called The 5 Phases of Becoming a Wealthy Woman. And it's all about basically when we start at the top, the business is making revenue, and we come all the way down to the bottom. How do we funnel money through our business and then to ourselves to make ourselves wealthy? Do we pay off business debt first? Do we pay off personal debt first? And in that video, I'm going to be discussing that. But for today's video, I want you to see that there's power in a budget. There's power in numbers. There are options and there are choices. It's not always, I need to make more money. It's like, no, if you have $6,000 coming in June, there are plenty of options here for you. If for the month of July, August, and September, you cut back on the business coach and the Facebook ads and the virtual assistant, you could have a savings and pay off debt. Like there's lots of options here. They're all up to you to get to decide, though, of what's important to you and what's not. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I want you to understand that there's power in the budget. Start a business budget today, for the love of God, please. And please use You Need a Budget. Honestly, I do not make any affiliate money from them or anything like that. I just fucking love their software. It has changed my life. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please click like, subscribe, hit the bell, all that fancy stuff. I also have some amazing resources down below for you. How to create your first 6-month savings account. What else do I have in there? How to book your first $10,000 client if you're looking to create more revenue in your business, and some other resources down below too. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Hope you enjoyed this video. Bye.